Hey, folks, everybody, welcome to the Terror Dome. Hope you're having a great day. Let's chop it up a little bit about MAGA. Yes, MAGA. Now, we know that MAGA is the last vestiges of the white supremacy that started after slavery when they decided, hey, we'll use the law and other loopholes to still keep these people oppressed. We know MAGA is the last vestiges of that. And it's about 30% of our population, which is quite large. Sad. But as younger people move into the mix, I see us getting away from a lot of this oppression because they're being oppressed too. But now a lot of them are smart enough to realize it and they're fighting back. So when we talk about MAGA, let's bring this up to the forefront. When they first came out with that term, I was shopping one day. I was in a Home Depot and I saw this elderly white gentleman. He had on a MAGA hat and he looked so happy. And I asked him, I just stopped him and asked, I said, what does make America great again mean? I said, aren't we great right now? Oh, well, yeah, but we could be better. I said, well, when you say make America great again, what is the again part? When were we really greater than we are now? He didn't have an answer. He knew what the answer was, but he didn't want to say it to me. And I've been saying this for the longest. With those people, when they say make America great again, they want to take us back to a time in which we had no rights. That's what they want to do. They want to take us back to a time in which we had no rights. They want to perpetuate white supremacy. They want to perpetuate their ability to sit atop the pecking order, whether or not they are qualified. And that's the biggest deal. Cracks me up when those folks were talking about DEI. Well, what they didn't understand was 66, well, some of them probably understand, but over 60% of the people who benefited from DEI were white women. And that's a fact they refuse to accept. They want to make it look like, oh, these minorities got jobs just because they're minorities. No, what DEI did, it put them in the room so that they could be interviewed and they could be judged according to their abilities. Unlike now, as you see, the Orange Menace has fired so many black women in this country over the past year that it's unbelievable. And these are women who are qualified to do their jobs. They had degrees, they were in the workforce, been there for a while, and were doing great things. None of them were fired for cause. And that's the other thing that's illegal. None of them were fired for cause. They were fired because they're black. So when we talk about MAGA, we have to understand what MAGA truly is. And MAGA wants to keep their foot on our neck. But I truly believe that we are beyond that. I don't think we're going to allow them to keep doing the things they're doing. The only way that we can stop them is to make sure that everybody, all minorities who are oppressed right now, get out there and make sure that these politicians understand. You may be in office now, but if you don't start helping us, you're not going to be in office long. So, hey, have a great day.